problem.
Okay. Now, just to reassure you, this is confidential in the sense that no one's going to have names next to the comments or ideas, but I need it recorded just to be able to take notes and make sure I got my notes right, okay?
Okay, that's good.
All righty. Well, super. Thank you for doing this. I think you know I don't work for Dairy Queen. I'm doing this as an independent researcher. And what I'm trying to do is kind of uncover some practices in your store that you think help encourage teamwork or collaboration. So as you think about that, what do you think in your store builds that sense of teamwork?
Teamwork is basically getting, making everybody feel important, that they're needed. It starts with getting, their opinion, implementing it and discussing it and see why it works and why it doesn't work after implementing it. And I think if we listen, as a team, we listen to each other. And that makes us the great team, as we're able to figure out, as a team, let's do this and see if it works. If it doesn't work, only this part worked. The other part didn't work. Let's tweak that one a little.
Okay. So conversations and communication.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. Are there anything specific you do in your stores to be able to generate that type of free-flowing conversation and communication practices, events, meeting, anything you can do to describe how you build it?
Sure. Just give me 1 second. I'm signing something. Let me give it to them. I'm so sorry. 1 second.
No problem.
Okay, my apologies. Thank you so much for holding.
No problem.
Okay. Could you just repeat that question again for me?
Of course. So you mentioned that you have getting input and communication is good, but what are some practices or tools that you use to keep the communication flowing or to build the team? So are there any specific types of meetings or huddles, or what are the things you're doing to create that climate?
Okay, so we have a monthly managers meeting. We have quarterly entire staff meeting, as well as we have every shift, before starting shifts, we always have a small huddle, per shift, and it's like maybe it's just not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes, encouraging them, saying, okay, this is what we need to focus on. We come up with the idea, let's implement it. We want to change greetings to drive-through today. Let's do that, make it better. How can we sound better? So small things like that.
Sure. So let's talk about the meetings for just a little bit longer. So you mentioned you have these monthly meetings with the managers. Are they on-site or off? Tell me how that works.
So we do monthly meetings before we open store so that we have plenty of time. We give ourselves at least a few hours, and we would just order some breakfast and stuff because it's like sometimes it's 7:30, sometimes it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's at the site. We'll just order some food and coffee and things, and then we'll get together. I would personally go buy all that stuff for them. We'll get together, and everybody would have their own point. So I, of course, initiate the meeting, and I tell them what would be the good or needed or not. And then go from there. So basically talking about what worked our whole month. What did we do good? What didn't we do good? How did it work? How did it didn't? How it affect rest of the team? If it was everybody was able to kind of adapt to it, and what we need to work on more. And managers are on the floor all the time, so it's when they would say, hey, yes, that idea was good, it worked, everybody's happy about it, but they don't like certain things. And so they would everybody would give their opinion about the entire month of operation, what happened, what was good and what was bad.
Okay, great. All righty, and then you mentioned quarterly staff meetings for everyone. Tell me about where that occurs and kind of when.
So we normally do that on weekends because we do have a lot of high school kids as well, and it makes it much easier to do that on weekends. Of course, that's before we open as well. And we meet early in the morning. We'll just have coffee and donuts for them. So the entire staff comes in because kids are the important part of the team because they're the face of the, face for our business because that's where they're at. They're at front counters all the time. So majority of the time our focus with those kids are customer service and how to make the customer's experience better. That's where they're at. They're always up front, facing customers and taking their orders and on registers and handing them their orders. So it's all about customer service. So that's where we focus more on our cleanliness and how they handle customers.
Got it. Okay. And how do you share good news with the team, like when sales are up or things have been met? What's your approach?
Okay, so we do have we have a communication board, which we would either write it down or if it's something that they achieved good or a great review, we do have SMG that we initiate. Some of my great kids who also want access to SMG, so they want to read what customers are saying when they do our surveys. So I have given access to anybody and everybody who needs it. I don't keep that strictly to managers only. Because it's a great tool. If you want to read, I think because they learn a lot from it.
Gotcha. Just to make sure,
a lot from it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Is that when you called it what you called it? Is that fan feedback?
Yes, it is fan feedback.
Oh.
It's SMG fan feedback. Yes.
Thank you. I just want to make sure I had the right term. Thank you. Keep going.
Okay, so yes, so all of the kids, everybody who wants access to it, who has smartphones and wanted to review that, they have it. So they get to read every single survey. So they understand. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's their own survey, and sometimes it's friends, that they work with, coworkers, and they get to know. And I think without us communicating, they already know what to do, what not to do, because from the customer's feedback. So I think it helps us in a way where we're not limited to just managers, everybody has. So we get good surveys, we post them on our communication board, as well as if there is any good news and stuff, we would celebrate with either pizza, bring in food, however, every time they come up with different ideas. I guess they're very innovative on how to celebrate stuff.
Oh, great.
Yes, and then we recently have changed to new computer system where we have online scheduling where everybody gets their schedule on their phones, and that also has a message center. So if there is we just passed Thanksgiving, I wanted to send a message to every single one on how great they've been, very thankful to them and all of that. I was able to do that on that app, and every single of my staff member got that message, and it makes it much easier. I only have to type it once. Everybody gets it.
Great. All right, so you're liking the new app.
Yes.
Okay, super. Now, think about, you mentioned pizza parties and other things. Any other interesting ways you've celebrated that you could share with me that you thought the kids or someone came up with that seemed to really work?
Yes, we do. So we do have bonus programs. For example, even if they refer a friend who's really friendly and wanting a job. So that's just an example that we use. We would say, okay, you bring in a person who knows who's capable of doing what you're doing already. It could be a great in our work environment. It's when they would recommend it. And if they do work out the way that we have expected for our store, they get bonus as well. So it's pretty same with achieving. So we have competitions on who gets the best surveys, who gets the majority of the surveys, and who gets the more positive feedbacks from customers. So we have like a $40 gift cards to Best Buy or Target or something. It's what we would put in. Every month it's different things. This last month was who gets most surveys possible, which would be fan feedback, and that person gets a $50 Best Buy card. We do yearly Christmas parties and stuff where we appreciate them enough. You know, we would be giving them bonuses, either if it's $100 or $50 here and there, depending on their position and how long they've been with the company. It's how we have recommended. So encouraging them with a reward. And majority of the time, there's times when they do help out a coworker. We would just do the simplest thing and awarding a free meal for you today. That you work for the team, you know, you came in on your day off and you helped your coworkers out. Here's a free meal.
Got it. Got it. Okay, super. Great ideas. Thank you. All righty. So from the standpoint of